Hi guys, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet. Today we are working on number 5 in our Crochet Flower Bonanza. I'm sorry I haven't been on for a while, had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm back. As usual, please like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will be in the comments below, as well as my Facebook page for all those on YouTube. So yeah, please remember to do that. Because this puts you in the drawing for the big giveaway that I talked about last video. So let's hope for minimal buffering. And let's take a look at these flowers that we're going to do today. This is called Irish crochet, and that's what we're doing to make this beautiful fluffy flower. This is what the back looks like. We're going to start similarly to how we did the last time. Making the base for our flower and then making the beautiful petals. Okay, now this is the large one. If you can tell, it's, you know, it's pretty big. It's bigger than my hand, so it's hard to tell on these videos how big something is, but this is a set of like washable marker things, and that just goes to show you how big the flower is. It's really big. And we're not going to do one that big today, but I'm going to show you how to make it that big. We're going to do the smaller version, and it's still beautiful, and you can still carry on when I get finished showing you how to do it, on how to make it bigger. But this is also a beautiful flower, but this is the one we're going to work on today. And then I did another one to show you in some variated colors, and it's more like a fall colored one, and it's really pretty too. I'm just using this to show you how big it is. But let me put away the markers because we're not coloring today. But anyway, so yeah, that's what that one looks like. And this is actually a smaller version too, but it is a thicker yarn, and so it went a little bit further. So what you're going to need today is a 5, actually this is a 6mm, so we're going to use this one today. It really doesn't matter. This is just going to make our flower bigger. But you could use a 5 or a 4, whichever you would prefer. Remember, it'll make it either bigger or smaller. But I'm going to use this one because this is the one I grabbed. So we're going to use a 6mm size J hook, and I've just got some Red Heart light pink yarn here. You can use any yarn that you want to make this. Just remember, like I've told you before, the thickness or the thinness of your yarn will determine how big or how small your flower is. And you will also need a darning needle. So that looks just like that. Has the big hole there. And I'm sorry if I've got paint on my hands. I've been painting today, so I tried to get it all off, but I think I had some gesso on me. And thank you to Connor and Corey Carter who are helping me today. And hopefully Corey and Connor are posting in the comments on how to get to my YouTube page, and for when this goes over to YouTube, how to get to my Facebook. So let's get started on this beautiful flower. I'm going to keep this right over here so you can see it as we're going. Okay, so to begin, we're going to start with our slip knot. Okay, and to do a slip knot, just real quick, go over that. You just go around your fingers twice, go under, pull up the yarn, go through the hook, go through the loop, excuse me, and there. So now we're going to crochet up 4 chains. So 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've got 6 on our chain, and we're going to slip stitch into this first loop here, first chain from the loop, and now we've made our little circle. And as we go around, we're going to work this leftover piece into our circle. So to make the base for our flower, remember we've done this before, but I'm going to show you again. We're going to make this starter chains here. To attach our petals to. So we're going to No, I'm sorry. We're going to chain up 1. We're going to chain up 1, and then we're going to go around and do 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And remember, as you're going around, you can push those over however you need to. And I'm just going to tighten it up with this little piece I have left. And then I'm going to single crochet into our first chain. So I'm going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I know I'm going to go in right here. And I'm going to go into this back loop, working in back loops, okay, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. So now we're going to chain up 2 and 2. And then we're going to go into the first single crochet here, and we're going to do a double crochet into the back loop. 1, and then we're going to do another one, 2. Okay, so then we're going to go into our next back loop, and we're again going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and again into the back loop only, we're going to do 2 more double crochets, and we're going to do that all the way around our 12 single crochets, which lets you know that there's going to be 24 in this. But remember what I told you when you're first starting out crocheting or when you're doing flowers, try not to count. So again, we're going into our next back loop, and we're going to do 2 double crochets again. And into the next one, into the back loop only, 2 double crochets. We're just going to keep doing that all the way around. So that's what it looks like there. Sorry about that. I'm readjusting here. Okay, and we're just going to keep going into those back loops to do 2 double crochets. Okay, just going all the way around here. End, and we're going to slip stitch into the first chain of our chain of 3 that we started with. So we're going to go right in here, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 that we started with. And there we've got the base for that. Okay, now we're going to do one more row, because remember, for this one we're not going to do the 3 rows. for the big flower, but I'm going to show you how. It would just take forever to do all those beautiful petals. So again, we're going on to our second row here, and we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to go into our next chain here into the back loop, and we're going, actually I'm sorry, we're going to go into the same, we're just chained up 3 into that slip stitch. We're going to do 1 more double crochet. Sorry about that. So then we've got 2 double crochets. Okay. And then we're going to go sorry, I had a cat trying to mess with the video. Then we're going to go into the next chain, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into the back loop. Just like that. And then the next one in the back loop, we're going to do 2 double crochets. And in the next one, we're going to do 1 double crochet into the back loop, only all the way around. Okay. And the next one too. So that's the sequence all the way around for the base of this flower. Is you just keep going around and you do 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 crochet aerobics. Okay, so again, 1 into the back loop, and then 2 into the back loop, and 1 into the back loop, and 2, and then 1, and 2, okay, and it looks just like that as you're going around. And again, 1, remember, only working in the back loops because we're going to use the front loops when we go around to do our petals. So 2 and 1, 2 and 1 in the back loops only. So you just keep going around, just doing that all the way around. Still buffering water. Oh my goodness. So it looks like it's doing better than usual though. It's not buffering quite as bad. So we'll have to call the tech dude again. Okay, so into the next one and do another double crochet, and then 2 in the back loops. And then 1 and 2. And we're going to end on 1 double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 again. So 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to slip stitch right there. Okay, and that's what the base for your flower looks like. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off our yarn, just like that, and we're going to pull through, and we're going to go really tight, okay? Because now what we're going to do is we're going to come in close to the center to start our petals, okay? So what we're going to do is, well, the first thing I want to do for the sake of this video is to go ahead and sew in the pieces that I have left here so that we don't get confused to what we're doing, and so I can show you how to sew in your ends. So I've got this piece here that we cut off, and we've just got to work it in. Remember what I tell you? They tell you 3 times and you're good. So I'm going to go in anywhere I want 3 times. And after that, it'll never come out again. So I'm just kind of working through to hide that piece there. And then I'm just going to pull, and I'm going to cut. Now, because we worked, I'm going to pull this a little bit to tighten our circle. Because we worked this in while we sewed the middle, I don't need to sew this in now. If you did not work it in, then you will need to sew that in so that it is secure within the yarn and will not come undone, okay? But I can cut that off, okay? So now we've got the base for our flower. So now this is what we've got. We just made that right there, just like we did in our last video. So now I'm going to show you how to do the petals. These beautiful Irish crochet petals. So if you can tell here, what we did is when we worked in our back loops only, that left our front loops to work into. So we've got a set here and we've got a set here, and that's what we're going to work into. So I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go right here into this first one, okay? And I'm going to pull in my yarn. So I'm going to pull it in just like this, and then I'm going to wrap around, and now I've got it secured into that loop right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? And we're going to work around this chain of 7. So just bear with me here. I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to go under your chain of 7, pull up your yarn, and go through 1. That leaves 2 on the hook. Then you're going to go around again. You're going to pull up your yarn and go through 1, and that leaves 3. Then you're going to go under, pull up your yarn, go through 1, that leaves 4. Go under your yarn, pull up, go through, that leaves 5. Go under, pull up, go through, that leaves 6. Go under, pull up, go through, that leaves 7 on your hook. Pull up, go through, that leaves 8. And again, 9. And again, 10. And 11. And 12. 13. And 14. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've done 14 around a chain of 7, and so now we're going to go through all of these. That may seem really hard, but if you keep it a little bit loose, you can go through all 14 just like that. Look at that. And then you're going to go into your next loop, and you're going to do a single crochet to hold that all together. Okay, so now you have made your first beautiful Irish crochet petal. Okay, so now you're going to go into your very next loop. Okay, to the very next one. You did a single crochet in that one to hold it down. So you're going to go into your very next loop, and you're going to do another single crochet. Okay, guys, remember to comment on my YouTube video and my Facebook if you're on YouTube. Please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're on YouTube, please go to my Facebook. Okay, so we single crocheted into the next, our next thing there. So now we're going to chain up 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to try to go a little bit slower so I can show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so I've got my 7 right here, and this is the way I'm holding it. I'm holding this in my hand. Okay, and I've got this right here, and I'm going to go under my chain of 7. I'm going under, and I'm pulling up my yarn right under it, and I'm going through 1 to secure it. Never going through more than 1. Okay, so we've done 1. We'll go through 2. Then we're going to go around again. That's 3. And we're going to do that 14 times. So 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. And look at that, we've got all those on our hook, and we're going to pull through and go through all 14, just like that. It may take a little practice to get through all of those, but I know that you can do it. So we're going to go into our next front loop, and we're going to do a single crochet to hold it all together, just like that. And isn't that beautiful? Okay. So now we're going to go into our next front loop, and we're going to do this again. Now I'm using a bigger hook, so it's kind of hard to get into these front loops here. If you are too, that's okay. Just keep working it in there. You can't mess it up really. And we're going to do another single crochet. Okay. Now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do this first round here. And then the second one is exactly the same. Okay. So again, we're going to chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to go around our chain of 7. Go around, go through 2. And I don't know if you can see, but when I just did that, it was a little bit loose there. So I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to start over again because we want them to look really neat. We don't want them to be really loose. So I'm going to go again around. It's like you want them loose, but not too loose. You want them loose to be able to pull them all the way through, but you don't want them too tight. So again, like I told you in the beginning crochet video where I teach you some tricks on crocheting and some beginner stuff, it's all about your tension. So okay, we went around once, so now we're going to go around again for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, So we've got our 14 on our hook here. Now I'm going to do all 14. Okay. And then we want to go to our next front loop. And do a single crochet. Just like that. And go into our next front loop and do another single crochet. And again, we're going to chain up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and again, I'm going to show you how to do this again. You're going to go under your chain of 7. You're going to pull up some yarn, go through 1, go under, pull up your yarn, go through 2. I'm saying number 2, but you're only going through 1 every time you pull up your loop here. Go around. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, now we've got 14 on the hook. So we're going to go through all 14. Now what I do when I'm doing this to make it a little easier is I raise up my hook, kind of like that. Well, not like that, but I raise it up a little bit, okay? And then I go over with my yarn and I go through all of them all at the same time. Okay? But what I did on that one is I pulled it up and messed it up. Because when I pulled up to show you, it tightened it too much. And that's okay, because look, we're all doing this and we all can make mistakes. So I'm just going to start over again. So I'm just going to pull it back to my 7. I'm going to start over again because I pulled too hard and I got them all bunched up. So again, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So just a lesson by me accidentally doing that. We cannot shove these over on our hook. We've got to keep them where they're at. So that's a good thing to know now, because I didn't know that. So I've got to keep them where we're at, and I just kind of pull up a little bit on them, and then I go through all of them just like that. Okay? And so then I'm going to go to my next loop, and I'm going to do a single crochet, pull it down a little bit there to hold it in place, then go to my next loop and do another single crochet. And right now we have 4 petals. We need 6. So we're going to do 2 more. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this 2 more times. So we're going to chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just like that. Then I'm going to go under my chain of 7, pull up my yarn, and go through 1 loop on my hook. Then I'm going to do that again, and go through another loop on my hook. That's twice. Do it again, go through one loop, that's 3. And 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, 12, 13, and 14. And again, a shout out to my son, Connor Carter, who is at this moment right now getting a cat from destroying my yarn because he is an awesome nugget. Okay, so we've got the 14 on the hook, and we're going to take it and we're going to go through all of them just like that. And like I said, it's not as easy as I make it look. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but you can do it, and they just turn out so beautiful. So just work with your tension, and they will turn out great. Okay, so we just did a single crochet into the next front loop to hold that petal down. So we're going to go to our next front loop, and we're going to do another single crochet, and we're going to chain up 7. And now the cat's in jail for messing with my yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to show you how to do this one last time to make this beautiful petal here. So chain 7, we're going to go under chain 7, pull up our yarn, go through one loop, and do it again. That's number 2. Do it again. It's number 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. And 11, and 12, and 13, and finally 14. I got all these loops here, and we're going to go through all of them, just like that. And we're going to single crochet into our next back loop. When you get closer to the end of this row here of our front loops, it's going to be harder to find when we get to the end here, the front loops. Just try to find something that looks like a front loop and it'll work out just fine. You won't be able to tell the difference. So we single crochet, and now we've got our 6. So we've got this little gap here, but we know we've got our 6 petals. So what I like to do is I go right into this space right here of our first petal. And if you're working along with me, you're going to find that little hole right there, and I want you to just go right in there, pull up your yarn, and do a slip stitch. Just like that. And we're done with our first row of petals, so we're going to cut off. We're going to leave a little bit of a piece there so that we know what do we got to do. We got to sew them in, so we're going to cut off right there. And we're going to go through again. I just go through one more time and then yank it up, okay? And that's what your first row of petals looks like. Isn't it gorgeous? And so we know we've got to sew this in and we've got to sew that in. So we want to do that before we move on to our next round. But the next round is exactly like this round, so I'm not going to bore people's lives with just crocheting over and over again the same thing, but that is exactly what you're going to do. You're just going to pull in your yarn into the next row. Just the first one. You're just going to work your yarn in and and work that in right there. Then do a chain of 7 and then start your petals all over again all through this round. And for this round, I believe you should have 12. Yes, 12 petals for the next round, okay? Now, if you want to make it, now that will make it this size. It'll be this size flower right here, okay? If you want to do a bigger flower, like this one that I'm showing you, you need to do a bigger base in the back. So when we worked on this base right here, this one right here, okay, let me show you this one. This one right here, when we worked on this one, sorry about that. For this one, we did 2 rows, okay? And so in this first one, we did 2 double crochets all around with a slip stitch to close. And on the next one, we did 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. But to make it this big, you want to go do another round. And in this other round, you want to do 2 double crochets in 1 and then 1 and 1 for the next 2. So, and for this sequence, to make the flower bigger, for this last round, you would do 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and go all the way around and slip stitch at the end. And then you would just do an extra round of petals, okay? And that's how you would make the very large one. But for the one that we did, you're just going to start again and just do the petals just like I just showed you and the next round, and it will make this beautiful flower right here. I did these in a size 5 hook. I would suggest a 5. I accidentally grabbed my number 6, and to show you in the video, it's more difficult to work with that size hook. But if you feel comfortable with it, you can go all the way up to an 8 if you want to. You can do whatever you want to do. But I found it easier with a 5 and maybe even smaller. So that's what we've got today, these Irish crochet flowers. They are absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with this stitch here, and I'm really excited about what a beautiful flower that it makes. You can put these on blankets or hats or anything that you want to, and you can do them in any color that you want to. These are flower colors, and this would be beautiful for a fall wreath. But anyways, I want to thank you for coming today, and just remember to look at the links in our comments. Go visit my YouTube page. Please subscribe when we get to 50 subscribers. Remember, we've got that huge giveaway. Also, if you're on YouTube, scoot over to my Facebook page. You can find out about all the ways, and so you can like and hit all that giveaway as well. And again, thank you so much, and happy crocheting.